Common ways people can be injured in a premises liability case is, for example, when they are shopping at a supermarket or another retail establishment. Sometimes injuries can happen when someone is on a work site, like a construction site, and there's a safety issue caused by a third party there. In premises liability cases, for there to be a valid case, we need to have a third party held responsible for the injuries caused. And so in order for that to be the case, we have to determine what happened and why it's the fault of the third party or parties. It is important to know that if you are injured in a premises liability case, your first priority should be to focus on your medical treatment. You should also try to get as much evidence as possible so you can preserve all possible evidence in the event that a claim or lawsuit is pursued for injuries and damages. Common scenarios we see as far as what caused injuries in premises cases can vary. A common example is one in what's known as a slip and fall. For example, someone is shopping at a store and they're walking down an aisle and there is something on the floor. They're now looking down and they fall because there's something on the floor that caused them to slip and then fall. If the store did not inspect the area of the fall within a reasonable time prior to the fall, they may be held responsible. Another example would be in what's known as a trip and fall incident. A person is walking and there is something sticking out from the ground, for example, or the floor that is hard to notice, and it causes the person to fall and be injured. Another example would be when someone is in a public space or a store of some sort and there's something that is not stocked properly, and then that item, like a box for example, falls and injures the person. Stores and other retail establishments have a responsibility to make sure that they maintain their premises in a safe manner for patrons and other guests. A premises liability case that we handled that jumps out to me was one where our injured client was shopping at a discount store and she fell due to a slippery material on the floor in one of the aisles. And this store did not accept responsibility and also did not inspect the area of the fall for almost an hour prior to the fall. We ended up filing a lawsuit for our client in this particular case that went all the way to trial, and the jury came back with a large verdict. In premises liability cases, success means that the injured person is able to get as full and just a recovery as possible, whether it's a settlement or a verdict.